morning, students. Hope you're all at home and safe and sound, taking care of your family members, of yourself, and following all the rules of lockdown. Since the lockdown has been increased to 3rd of May, we could not have regular classes. So we'll start studying from home. We start with the science part 1, chapter number 2, periodic classification of elements. For that, we need to know what is an element, first of all. An element, according to your previous knowledge, is a substance which cannot be subdivided further by any physical or chemical process. In this chapter, we are going to study how to classify these elements. What is classification? Classification means making groups depending on its similarities and differences. For that, we need to recall. Those who have the textbooks, please open to page 16. Those who don't have, I shall dictate the questions and answers. Question 1. What are the types of matter? As you all know, since which you have studied last year, matter exists in 3 different states, namely solids, liquids, and gases. Take down. The types of matter are solids, liquids, and gases. Question 2. What are the types of elements? They are metals, non-metals, and metalloids. Metals, if you know examples from daily life like copper, iron, are metals. Non-metals, oxygen, hydrogen, nitrogen, etc. Metalloids are substances showing properties of both metals as well as non-metals. For example, silicon. Question 3. What are the smallest particles of matter called? As you all know, matter is made from atoms. So the smallest particles of matter is an atom. Question 4. What is the difference between the molecules of elements and compounds? Now for that, we need to know what is a compound. Compounds are made from elements. Some compounds may contain 2 elements, some may contain more than 2 elements. What is important for a compound to be formed is that these elements are in a fixed proportion. Like for example, when we write the formula of water, we write it as H2O, which means there are 2 atoms of hydrogen and 1 atom of oxygen, and the ratio is 2:1. That is, water is formed only when hydrogen and oxygen, 2 different elements, combine in the ratio of 2:1. Now, what is the difference between molecules of elements and molecules of a compound? If you try to cut down a piece of wood or a piece of iron, you will be successful in cutting down to get small pieces of iron. Finally, you will get an atom of iron. So whenever we reduce an element, you will always get the atom in its pure form. Whereas in a compound, if you try to find out the molecules, there'll be molecules of mixed elements. Like, for example, when you try to decompose water, we'll get elements of hydrogen and oxygen. So this is the difference between molecules of elements and compounds. The answer for that: molecules of elements are pure, while molecules of compounds are in a mixed form.